Morning. Welcome to Ty Sports Picks 24. I'm going to say it again. Ty Sports Picks 24. Sorry if you missed me yesterday. I was a little under the weather. It was just a Friday. Wasn't too many games. I didn't really like the spread, so we saved it for this morning. Let's start off with the picks. This is a busy week 2 college football week 2 show, so let's kick it off with the free picks, but we also are going to have bonus picks. Remember, you got to stick around throughout the show for the bonus picks. So these are only the a sample of the picks. So the ones I'm going to give you off the top, you're going to have Texas -3 going against Michigan. Then you got Oklahoma State money line against Arkansas, or you can go -3. Excuse me. Then we got Rutgers -14. We have Memphis money line. Utah -7, or you can go money line against Baylor. Then you got Iowa against Iowa State. I'm going to take Iowa -3, or you can go money line since it's so close. Kentucky, we're going to take -7 against South Carolina. Maryland -3 or money line versus Michigan State. You actually, if you feel froggy, you can go ahead and take the 6.5. Okay, Kansas -6 against Illinois. And then we got Oklahoma -20. When we go over to our MLB picks, and all these picks are in the description. And by the way, the Cash App is down at the bottom, along with the social media at TY Sports Picks 24. The Cash App is $TY Rebel 22. In Major League Baseball, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates, New York Yankees, Oakland A's, New York Mets, Colorado Rockies, Boston Red Sox, Minnesota Twins, Seattle Mariners, Atlanta Braves, and San Diego Padres. And that's not even the bonus picks for football and for baseball. And all of my baseball picks are money lines. We don't really play with baseball lines. It's too close. They can score a few runs and don't score for the rest of the game. It's one of those type of sports. So if you need to see the football picks again, here are the picks. You got Texas, you got Oklahoma State. I'm gonna give you a chance to pull those up while I pull up the schedule for today, because we're gonna go through the schedule and I'm gonna give you guys some of my bonus picks as I go along for the picks that I did not mention in the top of the show. But a lot of things are going on in the world of football. As far as NFL, we're gonna speak on the Russell Wilson and the Mike Tomlin / Justin Fields saga, because Mike Tomlin's job is still kind of on the line. He's borderline on the hot seat. I don't agree with it, but the media is very powerful. Even though he's never had a losing season, but it's very interesting. Let's see what's going on with the injury report. And also, speaking of injury reports, part of what's going on in the world of college football is you got to watch that bottom ticker, just like mine when you watch on ESPN, because you may want to live bet or cancel a bet if you made a single bet, depending on who's not going to play. Like, for instance, the Auburn and Cal game, we're going to speak on that. Cal's running back, Jaden Ott, is actually questionable. Even if he does play, he has an ankle injury. That's never good when you're turning laterally. You're trying to spin, because he's a very shifty back. He's physical too, but his main game is big play action, going outside the tackles and just busting off long runs, because their quarterback over there in Cal, he is more of a game manager. He will do a little gunslinging, but the coach tries to keep him reined in and kind of lean on the run game. But they do have a good pass defense. They had 3 interceptions last week. So we're going to get to Cal and Auburn. You all know Hugh Freeze is my former coach at Ole Miss, so I know a little bit about Hugh Freeze and his system, even though I played on the defensive side of the ball. But let's pull up the schedule here on ESPN really quick. And we also going to have a segment later called Instagram. It's just going to be visuals of what's going on in college, high school, NFL football. Excuse me. Okay, so now I know this is what everybody's wondering about. This is what everybody and their mama want to bet on. Well, you already know which way I'm leaning with the Texas and Michigan. Let me give it a chance to pop up on the screen. Okay, there we go. Great. All right, so Texas and Michigan. You guys already know I got Texas -3. The reason why I'm going -3 is because Michigan is still, if not one of the most dominant defenses in the country. Fresno State is known for scoring points. They were held down. Even though Michigan didn't do too well offensively last week, Fresno State was kind of held back too. So even though Michigan is having kind of like a quarterback controversy, or not so much of a controversy, it's just coach has to make a decision. I still feel like Michigan's defense, with them having Graham back, when them having arguably the best cornerback in the country, it's hard for you to go against that at home. But I do feel like Texas has offense and defense. Texas didn't give up any points last week, and they were just flying on all cylinders. So that's why I would lean with Texas to win. So either money line or 3 points, because I just don't know how much points Michigan is going to give up. It's not that they're going to score a lot, but I do also feel like Donovan Edwards, though he struggled last week against Fresno State, I feel like, the cover guy for College Football 25 is only right that he helps out his running mate in that backfield as far as getting yards, because last week in the contest against Fresno State, Michigan, their quarterback Warren, he threw one interception. He only threw for 118 passing yards. He was 15 to 25. But then you also had Mullins, which was a surprise guy to the backfield, number 20, running for 92 yards. So that really helped Michigan out, along with Alex Orji coming in and rushing, which I think he'll do that. But they got to get a little bit more passing packages. Alex Orji is going to rotate with Warren at quarterback. People say if you got two quarterbacks, you have none. But I really feel like Warren is the quarterback. Alex Orji is just a weapon that you can't leave on the bench. I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe they put him out wide if they were smart, because he's such a dynamic athlete. But Donovan Edwards, he only had 11 carries for 27 yards, 2.5 per carry. We gotta get more effective. They have one of the top tight ends in the country in Loveland, but the main thing that's gonna separate Michigan is Will Johnson. He actually put up a touchdown, one of their few touchdowns last week, because they had a bunch of field goals, and they had one touchdown on offense thrown by Warren, and then the other one was thrown by Fresno State's quarterback going the other way as Will Johnson had a pick six. He had a lot of pass breakups, tackles. He was all over the place. So they're very effective in the front, having two bookend defensive tackles, knowing Graham and company, that whole defensive line, and then also having an All-American corner, All-American tight end. Should be an All-Big Ten running back in Edwards, but if not, Mullins may have something to say about it. But I feel like, on the flip side, when you look at Texans, we all know about Quinn Ewers. People were complaining about the freshman running back coming in, but he was a 5-star, and he's from IMG. And like I was trying to say with Florida State, you shouldn't be afraid of playing a 5-star freshman running back. I mean, if there's any position that you should feel comfortable with, is running backs. I mean, the number one running back in the country last week, Jordan Lau, he got a few carries for Miami, and he did a nice job with it. But, Jared Gibson had 10 carries for 67 yards and a touchdown. And then they also had a 5-star freshman wide receiver for Texas, Ryan Wingo, had 4 catches for 70 yards. So a lot of these young guys are very effective in a 52-0 win over Colorado State, which was supposed to be a pretty decent group of 5 team, just like Fresno State that faced Michigan. So we're going to move on. You know what my pick is for that one. Now let's go on to Penn State and Bowling Green. That's not really a big one, to bet on it. I would kind of stay away from that 34.5 for Penn State. See if you can buy it down or just money line it and go inside a parlay for Penn State. Now, Oklahoma State and Arkansas. Arkansas is back. They're looking like a 7-win team. I know you might chuckle, but this is in the SEC. They got a little defense, but that offense is crazy. They putting up points, and more points. But you're still going against Oklahoma State, which scoring points, that means they from the old Big 12 and the new Big 12. So scoring points is no problem for Mike Gundy and company. So I'm proud of Arkansas State, even though they are our arch enemies. I wouldn't say our rivals. They're more of an enemy. But they put up a 70-0 effort against Arkansas Pine Bluff. So I feel like they can kind of keep it close. They got Oklahoma State at home -10. I would try to get that down to -6.5. I feel like in a shootout, the Cowboys will win, but the Razorbacks will definitely show them what Pig Suey is about. Okay, so that's where I stand with that one. Let me see if that was one of my surprise. Okay, no. So I'm gonna give you my first surprise pick, even though we haven't made it to that game. But surprise pick, I got Syracuse. I'm sorry, I was about to say South Carolina. I'm skipping ahead. Syracuse at home as an upset special against number 23 ranked Georgia Tech. Yes, Syracuse money line. So that means since you're taking a underdog money line, you might as well take them with the points too. So if you were smart, you would take Syracuse money line and you would take them +3 since it's -3 for Georgia Tech. But let's go back to Tulane in Kansas State. Kansas State, number 17 in the country, is going at Tulane at 12 o'clock. That's about an hour and a half away from now. You still got plenty of time to put in your picks. Hour and 20. And basically, I feel like it's not a matter of will Kansas State win. It's about how much. They're favored by -8.5, which is pretty good because home teams get 3 points. So that would be like 11.5. But I saw it raining prior to the game. So when the quarterback did an interview, Avery Johnson, he couldn't even have his hair out. You know, he got that long hair looking like Trevor Lawrence. So I don't know what that'll do to their passing game, even though they're really like, and excuse me coughing and burping. I'm trying to work through it. I apologize, a little under the weather trying to get over it. But anyway, with Kansas State, I do believe that they'll win, even though Tulane is one of the top tier G5 teams. Pushing like a Memphis in the South Florida, but I feel like Kansas State is a very disciplined team. They're one of those teams that does not play down the competition. They play up. So I feel like Kansas State, I would go with a 6.5 or maybe a 3, maybe a -3, maybe a -3. But they'll definitely win that game. I definitely favor Kansas State in that game. Now let me give you another one of my bonus picks if you stuck around for the bonuses. So when you see me have this bonus up here on the screen, I'm not going to leave it up because I want you guys to still have those football picks. But just know, every day we have bonuses. You see that bonus on the screen? That's a reason to stick around. Because I also have some bonus baseball picks that I'm going to give you at the very end. But we're going to do the bonus football picks as we go along. But lock in those football picks. And if you didn't get to see the baseball really quick, again, it's Pittsburgh, Yankees, A's, Mets, Rockies, Red Sox, Twins, Mariners, Braves, and Padres. So I'm going to give you about 5-10 seconds to get those down. So while you're taking those down, let's move on to the next football game. Okay, so Rhode Island and Minnesota, 24.5. I don't trust them with that. I just stay away from that because you never know. Minnesota might win by 2 touchdowns. So if you can go down to 14, fine. Okay, Rutgers and Akron, -23.5. No disrespect, Rutgers, but again, you got to buy that down to 14, 17 for me to go for. Okay, now another upset, Pittsburgh. Did I give you guys Pittsburgh? Is that one of my bonus picks? Yes, that's one of the bonus picks. Okay, Pittsburgh on the road at Cincinnati. It's -2, so they already are favoring Pittsburgh because they're not even giving them the home field advantage 3 points. So take Pittsburgh money line, and it's going to be like +100. So you take them. I would take them plus the 2 points, and I take a money line. So that's what we're doing. Anytime we're picking an underdog, you're going to take a money line, and you're going to take a plus whatever the point spread is because they got to cover the points to win because they're an underdog. Think about it. So you're going to get the money line and you're going to get the point spread. So that's another trick of the trade that you guys are learning by following Top Sports Picks. Now we got money line Memphis. I don't really like that -18.5. I don't know who they think they are. I love Memphis. Memphis puts up a lot of points, but Troy is known for defense. That's where DeMarcus Ware came from. So we want to slow our roll with that. That could be a 6.5 game. I don't know where they don't waste your money with that 18.5. That's too many points to give two equal teams in G5. But let's move along. Now we got Florida Atlantic -2.5 against Army. That's a pretty decent pick. I would go money line because it might be a 1-point game, but I would go money line. But if you just have to take the spread, then take the 2.5. But don't go any further because Army's gonna fight you no matter who you are. Okay, now Georgia is -53 against Tennessee Tech. They might take out their starters. 53 is a lot. Georgia's a running team. See if you can get that down to like high 30s. Okay, so let's go further along and see something that okay, Utah. I already gave you guys Utah. Okay, Auburn. Remember I was speaking about Auburn and Cal. Now we all know he's probably gonna play, because he's a tough guy, but we all know Jalen Ott from Cal is kind of under the weather himself. Are dealing with a nagging injury to his ankle. Now they got Auburn -10.5. That's too many points, even with a hurt Jaden Ott. I would go Auburn money line. I would go Auburn 3. I wouldn't even go a touchdown. I would go Auburn -3, Auburn money line. So you can do them together, or you can just go with the money line and put it in the parlay. Now, Kentucky versus South Carolina. I slipped up and said it early. Okay, you guys know I'm going with Kentucky at home. They're -8.5. That's too many points. Let's get it down to -6.5. I like them a touchdown better than South Carolina. Then we have Michigan State at Maryland. I was high on Michigan State because of the coaching staff and them bringing in that quarterback from last year, but maybe they need time to develop. I didn't like what they did against Florida Atlantic last week. So I do believe in them long term, but Maryland is a well-oiled machine. Jay was right last week. Maryland, they are just rolling. So I'm going to say they give you -8. I'm going to just say buy it down to -6.5. I like Maryland by a touchdown. So take a money line and take a -6.5. That's the trick. If you're really confident in that spread. Okay, now we got Wisconsin versus South Dakota -19.5. Can we get that down to 10? Okay, we can get that down to -9.5. Take it. If not, just money line and put it in the parlay. Toledo versus UMass -18. Stay away from that. I got a feeling UMass may upset Toledo, but I wouldn't bet it either way. That's a dangerous game. You know, with these G5 schools, they're similar to Mississippi State. They're good for upsets. You know, certain teams, you know, the Utahs, the Mississippi States in the Power 5 or the group of Power 4. They may not win a national championship, but they can knock anybody off, like the Georgia Techs, or now Syracuse knocking off Georgia Tech. You also have teams like that in the group of 5: Miami of Ohio, Toledo, UMass, Northern Illinois. So don't think it's just Boise State and Toledo that win games in the group of 5. So you got to be careful taking those picks. Okay, Wyoming. Wyoming didn't look too good last week. They got them -7.5 against Idaho. Money line Wyoming. Don't take any points with that. And I guess that's a bonus, yeah, because I didn't have that written down in my notes. I'm looking at my notes. I'm looking at the screen, looking at you guys. You know, I'm all over the place. Peripheral vision. Okay, now we got Ole Miss. They're notorious for covering the spread, but -43 is a lot of points. See if you can get that in the high 30s. See if you can get that at 35, 37, and I take that. If not, leave it alone. Okay, we got the University of Miami against one of the top teams in the country in the FCS, but not in the FBS. FAMU. They did not bring the band. A lot of people in Miami are mad, but they still won't be able to cover the spread. -44.5. FAMU is not going for that. Do not do that. I wouldn't bet it either way just to be safe, but just stay away from that. Now, Marshall in Virginia Tech. Kyron Drones had a hiccup last week. He was kind of hurt, kind of iffy. Now, with Marshall and Virginia Tech, that's one of my bonus picks. Bingo. Now, with Marshall and Virginia Tech, I want you to take Marshall +21 because I got Virginia Tech probably winning by let me take down those picks. You should have them by now. I got Virginia Tech winning by maybe 14, 17. We got to see. I mean, they just lost to Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt looks like they're not as bad as they used to be. Kind of like Georgia Tech, you know, in different teams. Boston College. You got to look at coaching changes. You can't just look at programs. But yeah, I like Virginia Tech to win. But you can either the money line and just put it in the parlay, or you can try to buy it down as far as you can go where it's still under 200. So let's try to take it to so let's see if we can get Virginia Tech. No, let's just take Marshall +21. We'll take Marshall +21. They should stay within 21 points of Virginia Tech. Okay, now let me give you another bonus before we keep going down the line. Okay, a bonus: Alabama versus South Florida. A lot of people think Alabama's going to cover. It's -31. No. My thought is South Florida will definitely get blown out. By how much? That's a big question. About how much? I feel like you take South Florida +31, but you take Alabama money line. But take South Florida +31. They'll probably lose by 21 points. You know, that's what I think, because South Florida's a pretty good group of 5 team. I could see them losing 41-20 or something like that. Okay, now we got Kansas versus Illinois. Kansas versus Illinois. I already gave you that one. It's -6 or -6.5. So if you didn't know that, that's what I'm taking. I'm taking Kansas by like a touchdown. Or actually, no, they might know something. They got it as -4.5. So if they got it -4.5, just take it money line and let's take it -2.5. Maybe it's gonna be a field goal game, but I'm definitely going with Kansas. I am definitely going with Kansas on the road. Okay. Gators, they don't even let you bet on Gators. There's no line out for that. Sorry, Gators. But one thing I want to say about the Gators, a lot of people are calling for the coach to be fired. The head coach, Billy Napier, made a comment about people making comments on Twitter, living in the basement in Central Florida, and they were crying and complaining, saying there's no basements down here. Look, people know what he was saying. It was just saying it in a tongue-in-cheek way, trying to motivate his players. He was just saying, stay focused and don't pay attention to the naysayers. And a lot of you fans out there, I know you just want to be fans and have fun, but even with other programs, I've seen where a kid decommitted from one program, and you got people in the comment section downing the kid. He's only 17 years old. Like, at the end of the day, that's negative recruiting, because you don't want somebody's parents or another kid that may come to your school to take it the wrong way. So I think that's kind of what Billy Napier was talking about. Excuse me, I'm trying to fight through this this under the weatherness, but you guys give me grace. But basically, yeah, the players, the coaches, focus and stay off of social media. We even had an incident. I think it was some old audio, but it was audio of a player. A player you guys might know this player I'm talking about. He's not playing so well. He has a father that's very passionate about him, and he was arguing with fans and threatening fans and saying if he see you at the game, he's gonna pull up, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. You don't want to affect your son's draft stock. You don't want to get arrested. You don't want to run into the wrong fan, and you're out of state. You're out of your zone. You're an alien over here, and they jump you or you jump them. Let's just stay away from that. So social media is supposed to be fun, but some people just need to leave it alone. Always read your tweets before you press send. But let's get back to these games. Now we got Wake Forest. Let's find it. Wake Forest. That's one of the big matchups. We're gonna come back to this Tennessee game. Did I skip over Wake Forest? Or maybe it's later. Hold on. I'm kind of skipping around because I got notes. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, anyway, Wake Forest is playing Virginia. I don't see it on the ESPN screen, but I do have it in my notes. So that's one of my bonuses. We're going to take Wake Forest -3. So, -2.5. Correction, because when you say -3, you got to win by 4. So we're going to take Wake Forest -2.5. I'm trying to find it. I mean, I know they're playing tonight, but I don't see it on the screen. That's very odd. Okay, there we go. Wake Forest and Virginia. They actually got Wake -1. So they don't even want to give them the field goal. So I tell you what, I said field goal, but you could double it up. You could just say Wake -2.5 or Wake -1. Wake -1 or -0.5, which would be half a point. So Wake -0.5 in money line. Because they're definitely going to win the game at home against Virginia. I know a lot of people are rooting for Virginia. They've been through a lot of turmoil. I'm rooting for them too, but not today. It's Wake Forest. Now, let's jump around. Let's go back to the game that I was going to speak on, but I had to scroll back down. Okay, we got NC State against Tennessee on the primetime ABC game, another ACC versus SEC matchup. We've had a lot of those back and forth. Okay, so now they got Tennessee -9. I had NC State +11, meaning I thought they'd lose by 10 or something. So it's basically the same thing. So they're trying to go -9 for Tennessee. I would go more NC State +11. Or you know what? maybe you just take Tennessee money line and take Tennessee. See what Tennessee -6.5 or -2.5 would be. Just to be safe. I know you guys want to take risk, but let's stay away from that 9 points. That's a lot of points. Definitely don't go over 10. So if you want to take the Tennessee -9, I would not do that. I would take the money line. I would take -6.5 or -2.5. Because NC State is not going to lay down, especially not in their home state. I know it's not their stadium, but it's in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's closer to NC State than it is to Tennessee. Okay, now we got Oklahoma. Who was Oklahoma facing? I just saw. Okay, Oklahoma against Houston, -28. Let's get that down to -20.5. Yeah, so I think a 21-point victory, that would be more reasonable. Now we got Boise State at Oregon. Now, historically, Boise State has upset Oregon a lot of times, Remember the famous game with LeGarrette Blount that it kind of got crazy afterwards back in 2009? So on Thursday Night Football on ESPN. So it's been a lot of history between those two programs. So they got Oregon -19. That's crazy. No. Take Boise State plus 19. Take them plus 19 because I think they'll lose by 14 or 17. So let's take Boise State plus 19. You got me? And we're still going to take Oregon with the money line. Okay, now another bonus for you guys. Washington State versus Texas Tech. If you're still up at 10 o'clock on Fox, I love this. They got the night owl games. That's what I love about college football. You know, it'll put you to sleep. It'll be up from the time you wake up with the morning shows all the way to the time you go to sleep. So with this Washington State versus Texas Tech, Washington State is still looking good despite the loss of Cam Ward. We're going to take them money line, and we're going to take them minus 1.5. No, let's take them minus 0.5 if you can. If you can only take it down to 1.5, then take the 1.5 because it might be a 1-point game or field goal game. But originally in my notes, I got money lines. So maybe you know what? I don't want you to lose your money going chasing after those points. So just to be safe, let's take Washington State money line at home. Okay, I got one more bonus, and we're going to get up out of here. We got Arizona State versus Mississippi State on the road. They got Arizona State minus 5.5. See if we can buy it back. Mississippi State plus 10. I feel like they'll be within a touchdown or so. So let's take Mississippi State plus 10 and watch them up into the third quarter because they got a lead in the second half. Take a money line. Do not be afraid of live betting. I know you might put in your parlays, your tickets early in the day, but let's put some money aside. $5, $10, $20 here for live betting, man. You have these apps, use them to your advantage. Live bet, you know, because you might see something and you might have to bust an audible. Okay, now with the MLB bonus picks. So MLB bonus picks, let's go over to the MLB schedule really quick. With my MLB bonus picks, I gave you the Pittsburgh, I gave you the Yankees, this, that, and the third. You pull up MLB on this screen while that's loading up. So for my MLB bonus picks, my first bonus is going to be Baltimore. So I didn't give you that with the regular picks. We're going to have Baltimore as a money line pick in baseball. We're also going to have the Marlins, the Miami Marlins as a money line pick in baseball. Then we're going to have the Texas Rangers. So Baltimore against Tampa Bay. We got the Marlins against the Phillies. A lot of people might be like, you're insane. Yeah, I like the Marlins. It maybe put these bonus picks on a separate parlay. So I like the Marlins. You know, that's probably the most risky one. I like to take a risk every now and then. You know, so maybe you do the Marlins as a single. Okay, I also got a bonus pick of Texas Rangers over the Los Angeles Angels. And then there's a double header between Washington and Pittsburgh. I got Washington winning the second game in the doubleheader because Pittsburgh probably have a different lineup. So I got Washington winning that second game. And then finally, I got the Cleveland Guardians. It took me a while to stop saying the Cleveland Indians. You know, they changed their name like the Redskins changed to Commanders. I got the Cleveland Indians upsetting the Dodgers tonight as a bonus pick. So those are going to be all of my picks. Also, let me pull up Instagram so we can see what's going on in the world of Instagram really quick. As I promised you guys, that's going to be our new segment sometimes on Saturdays. Let's see what's going on with high school football. Let's see what's going on with NFL, college on Instagram because we're not really using Twitter. I mean, not Twitter. We're not really using YouTube because we don't want any copyright strikes. Instagram wants you to use Instagram, you know, to promote them. So let's go over to the ground. I like to follow different pages, you know, like Football Hotbed and different stuff like that. ESPN, you know, have their different NFL pages. But let's check out what's going on in the world of football now. Football Hotbed. You see a lot of trash talking was going on last night between the Carol City Chiefs and the Miami Northwestern Bulls. So they coming out on the field, you know, the Bulls looking very disciplined, but they still, you know, aggressive with Coach Teddy Bridgewater. They got on the gold, you know, with the nice gold letters and the blue trimming, you know. No nonsense, you know. It was a lot of big games. They also had St. Thomas that took on Columbus last night. St. Thomas is still actually ranked in the top 10 according to Football Hotbed when they talk about top 10 teams. It still has St. Thomas at number 10. It has Colo at number 9, but they actually lost to IMG last night, which IMG was at 12. That's Central. That's Phoenix Central out of Alabama. They're going to be facing IMG in a couple of weeks. Milton High School, that's the quarterback commit, Luke Nickel, that came down here and beat American Heritage. And speaking of American Heritage, Luke Nickel is committed to the U, but American Heritage took their second loss to Chaminade Madonna that was thirsty for a win. And then modern day #1 in the country actually beat Bishop Gorman last night. So it's a lot going on in high school football. But let's check out some other pages on Instagram. Let's see what's going on in the world of NFL. Let's see if they have anything about the Russell Wilson story. If not, then I'll just tell it to you. So no, I'm seeing a lot of Eagle stuff. And unfortunate, last night, these are the two quarterbacks greeting each other because it was a big game last night. I believe it's 29-34 was the final between the Eagles and Packers. The Packers actually led throughout the game a lot, but Jordan Love, the quarterback for the Packers, had a heinous injury. I don't know if you guys even want to see this. I don't know if I should even show this. So we'll show some other highlights. This is some highlights from the game. Saquon Barkley scored I think 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving. This is Jalen Hurts, doing what he does, being physical. He squats like 500 pounds, even though he's a quarterback. He's a very physical guy. Let's see if we can get some of these highlights of Saquon. Sorry, it's always a problem, issue, a question if the Wi-Fi is working, if it's going to load. Okay, yeah, it's working. Okay, so here goes one of Saquon's big plays, I believe. Okay, so big time, looking like Marshall Faulk coming out there catching it. Celebrating with his teammates, not by himself. Here's another angle from behind. And a back shoulder fade for a running back. That's big time. That's why he's getting the big dollars in free agency, man. I mean, he went through it with his hometown, New York, New Jersey. I think he's a Bronx kid, I believe. I'm not sure, but he tried to tough it out with the Giants, but now he's chasing after a ring with the Eagles. And here goes one of his rushing touchdowns. He had nice patience on that run. He let his block set up and then got through the hole. Okay, now let's see what's the grand finale for Saquon Barkley. Okay, so actually, is this Saquon? No, I think this is that looks like Devontae Smith. I'm pretty sure that's Devontae Smith. No, that's AJ Brown. Ole Miss Rebel, AJ Brown. Sorry about that, AJ. Yeah, but the Eagles were flying. I was kind of leaning towards the Packers, but you don't always get them all right. And just in case you guys are wondering, this is going to be the Sunday slate. You got the Fox game. Okay, Pittsburgh. Now, I want to speak on Pittsburgh and Atlanta. As of now, they're going to have a walkthrough this afternoon. Russell Wilson's going through a calf injury. If he doesn't perform well in practice, they'll probably sit him out tomorrow, and Justin Fields will start. So that's going to be a big game on Fox for all my Dolphin fans. 1 o'clock, we got a CBS game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. A big one. A lot of smack is being talked between the Raiders and the Chargers. I saw former Florida State safety Darwin James that plays for the Raiders talking about how they got embarrassed last year. And I'm sorry. Yeah, he plays for the Chargers, saying how the Raiders embarrassed them last year and they haven't forgot. So Chargers and the Raiders, that's always a tough rivalry back and forth. So we're gonna see how that goes. Also, you got the Cowboys against the Browns. The Cowboys are always a marquee game. And then the Sunday night game will be the Rams and the Lions. Okay. Now let's check out what's going on in college football on Instagram, and then we're going to get up out of here. Okay, let's go to college football Fox, because we always give ESPN so much love. Okay, so look, they got the pregame show for Fox. And what do you know? Moneybag Yo. So this is at the Michigan and Texas pregame. They got Moneybag Yo getting that money bag, because I'm sure he's not performing for free. And Mark Ingram, he's showing his little dance moves or whatever, Roll Tide, even though it's big Ole Miss, big trust, like he said from Lamar Jackson. They got Chris Webber out here, I guess he's going to be a celebrity picker, giving his pick for the game. They doing a Heisman, trophy ceremony pose. So it's a lot going on the gram. So you guys make sure you following your different football pages on Instagram. So my name is Ty Sports Picks 24. I hope you guys enjoyed the pregame show. All the picks are in the description if you didn't get them. I won't go back over the bonus picks. I hope you were paying attention. I'll go watch it back. But I will show you the other picks. So MLB, again, if you didn't get it, Pittsburgh, the Yankees, Oakland A's, the New York Mets, Colorado Rockies, Boston Red Sox, Minnesota Twins, Seattle Mariners, Atlanta Braves and San Diego Padres. So I'll give you guys a couple of seconds. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you guys a couple of more seconds because my hand hit the button by mistake. And then we'll get to the college football and we'll get out of here. Expect me to be back on maybe to do a wrap-up show, or maybe we'll wrap up while we do the NFL show in the morning. And also for you high school football fans, look out for Booker T. Washington taking on Miami Central tonight. That's a pivotal matchup between a power and the 2A and Booker T in the 3A Miami Central in the state of Florida. And this is a state where a 3A team could beat a 7A team. It happens all the time. Shout out to Northwestern. You know, Palmetto know what's up. You know, but let's go to the college football. Again, we got Texas minus 3. No, actually minus 2.5. Because if you take -3, that means they got to get more than 3. Texas minus 2.5. So I'm sorry about that correction. If I could fix that. Or you could take the -3, but no, take it minus 2.5. Oklahoma State money line or minus 2.5 or -3. Either though any of those are safe because I really think they'll win by a touchdown. I'm just trying to be safe for you guys. I don't want you to lose because of some points. That's silly. Okay, Rutgers minus 14 or minus 13.5. Memphis money line. We got Utah minus 6.5 or -7. We got Iowa minus 2.5, -3 money line. We got Kentucky minus 6.5, -7. We got Maryland minus 2.5, -3. We got Kansas minus 6.5, -6, whatever in that realm. Okay, and then we got Oklahoma minus 20 or 20.5. So that's going to be the show for the day. My name is Ty Sports Picks 24. If you can't see down at the bottom, let me pull up the scan for the Cash App. I appreciate the donations so we can continue to support the channel at $TY Rebel22. I thank everybody for tuning in. If you didn't see the show, you can watch it back. That's going to be the show for the day. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Ty Sports Picks 24 on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And then the Cash App, as you see on the screen, is $TY Rebel22. Go ahead and put in those picks. I'll see you.